Hi guys, big up everyone. Please keep watching Transit TV. Don't touch that dial.
Keep watching Transit TV.
Honorable mention to my boy Alex Iwobi. Arsenal could do with such a player right now. The young man is all over the place, making opportunities, moving, pass and move. He opens the opponent up, which is one of the things we lack right now.
Shout out to my mom. My mom is an ardent Arsenal fan. She watches all EPL games. So she likes Iwobi. So before the game, I said, Mommy, I hope they don't want Fulham to win because of Iwobi. She said no, but she can tell me the truth that she wants. Transit TV, welcome back again. EPL Match Day 15 review. We just concluded the games for 15th match day. West Ham played the last game today against Wolves, winning 2-1. And back to the studio. Good to see you again, my brother.
Hey, same here, Reggie. Always a happy time, always a good time being on Transit TV. So many things are happening. Thanks to everyone that's helping the channel grow. If you're watching us for the first time, please go ahead and subscribe. Please share the channel with your friends and your enemies as well. If you support a club and you have rival clubs that other people support, please go ahead and share with everyone. We want to keep growing this channel.
Yeah, we're also going big on Nigerian Professional League. That's why I was missing it. I was saying MPFL. So if you want to know what's going on in Nigerian League, stay tuned to this channel as well. Tomorrow we'll be dropping the MPFL Match Day 15 as well, review for all the results. There are so many big results. Remo Stars is back to top of the league after Rivers United lost yesterday. So that video will be dropping tomorrow or maybe Wednesday morning. So stay tuned and catch a glimpse of those results and actions. Yes, let's run down the results for this weekend. There we go into it. Before we go, let me ask you, how is your academy doing? Viewers out there, if you have kids between the ages of, I think, 7 to 15 or 12, and you're in Houston, Ubum has a very, very good academy. He's a football man, he knows everything about football and helping the young ones come up. So, yeah, we will put the details in the description section. Get in touch with him and get your words registered. They're always winding up for the year. But I mean, next year, there's some programs as well. I think, I don't know, Gumi, I think you have programs taking the kids to Europe to get experience from how professional things are done. So if you have interest for your words, please get in touch and get them signed up.
Thank you, Reggie. Yeah, we plan to be in Spain the last 2 weeks of July in 2025. So if your kid is between the ages of, say, 9 and 17, and they play football, they play soccer and basketball, please, we encourage you to get in touch. It will be the amount of money you will need to spend will not be too much to have your kid go out there and have 2 weeks on a camp and know what it means or what it feels like to be a professional athlete. So please, if you have any questions, go ahead and direct your questions to us.
Yes, sir. So result for the weekend, first match of the week would have been the Merseyside derby, but that was cancelled because of weather conditions. Everton was supposed to play at home to Liverpool. Aston Villa won their game 1-0 at home to Southampton. They put together a run of 2 games winning now. Brentford continued their winning streak, winning 3 out of 5, just losing 1 and drawing 1 out of the last 5 games. 4-2 against Newcastle. Crystal Palace held Manchester City to a 2-2 draw at the Selhurst Park. Manchester United lost at Old Trafford. 2 straight losses now at home to Nottingham Forest at the Old Trafford. And on Sunday, Fulham held Arsenal to a 1-1 draw at the Fulham Stadium. Ipswich lost at home to Bournemouth 2-1. And Leicester had a 2-2 draw at home to Brighton. And Tottenham lost again at home to Chelsea, 4-3. So, yeah, I seen the results. Let's start right quick. Everton, Liverpool cancelled or postponed because of weather conditions. Is advantage Liverpool or not? Though in hindsight, now we have the results, but it's still, what do you think? You think it's better for Liverpool to have that match in game in hand, or probably would have played and know what their fate is and know what exactly is the true position on the table?
Judging by what that has meant to the club I support, Arsenal, in the past, it's never well, let me not say it's never, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing because the 3 points that's supposed to be in the bag is hanging, and you can never be sure you'll get that 3 points until you play that game and win it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So usually I would say it's something to be slightly worried about. Depends on the form. You don't know the form Everton will be in. They may have fired their coach and have a new coach, and they have a new manager bounce, or they may get things right and start clicking. And Liverpool may have one or two injuries that may affect their form. So you just never know. It's not a good thing. For me, if I were a Liverpool fan, I wouldn't be happy about that.
Yeah, they always say it's good to have the points in the bag than to have a game in hand. Like you rightly said, you never know what's going to happen when that match will be fixed. And and for me, I think recently it's only Manchester City that have had a good history with games in hand. As now I know for sure, most of the time those games in hand don't come good, and a few clubs as well. Yeah, then we'll go to Villa. Villa, they've been struggling this season, but they've managed to put together 2 wins in the league now. Winning Southampton, sultry one goal at home. I think the last 7 games now, what's his name? Duran, earlier the season was coming out from the bench and doing his magic. But in the last 6 or 7 games now, he hasn't really scored. And he came up yesterday or Sunday or Saturday and did his magic and scored the only goal of the game. I don't know what have you made about Aston Villa. And again, Southampton too have not really been a very easy team to play against.
Yes. I thought there was a well-earned victory for Aston Villa. They were really struggling. And you rightly said that Southampton is not a very easy team to play against. They are very offensive. They play possession football. The only problem they have is playing out of the back because both the goalkeepers and their central defenders are not very confident with playing out of the back. Yeah, so that's where they struggle. Aston Villa were good. They tried to earn that. They needed that because their form has been pretty bad. Hopefully, they will pick up from here and move forward with it. But the strong teams are getting stronger. So if you don't pick up your form, you will struggle.
Yeah, the most fascinating result for this weekend: Brentford 4, Newcastle 2. Newcastle, after a very solid performance against Liverpool last week, one would have thought that they would have tried to build some momentum from there. They have also been struggling this season. We're going to lose 4-2 against Brentford. Though if you look at the stats, you won't really be surprised because Brentford is one of the highest scoring teams. It's only Chelsea that has scored more goals than Brentford this season. Chelsea has scored 35 goals, and Brentford, Tottenham has scored 31 goals each. So they've been scoring goals. And in Boma is a player there have been some rumors that Arsenal are probably looking at him. The guy all of a sudden, since Tony, left them from his band to eventually leaving the club, between Boma and Wissa, they've been scoring goals. Both of them scored their goals yesterday on Saturday as well. And end that result, Brentford now are 9th on the table. I know the Thomas Frank's brain at that club, I've seen them finish at top half of the table most of the time. And Newcastle are now languishing in 12th position. Newcastle is another team that I don't really know where to put them and their coach. It looks like their growth has stunted. It looks like Eddie Howe doesn't have anything else to offer that team. I don't know what you think about this game and these two teams.
Right. Newcastle, you rightly said it. There's just something not quite right with Newcastle. I could see it. They have issues. You said it. Eddie Howe seems to have hit a ceiling with the team. I'm quite surprised that they haven't, with all the money they haven't refreshed their squad like I expected that they would. With the resources they have. Maybe they plan to do it next summer or maybe this winter window, but they are kind of stagnant. They are playing Dan Burn as a center back now. I was a former left back, though he's been trying, but that team badly needs an injection of quality to keep them going. Otherwise, it's going to be the topsy-turvy for them till the end of the season.
Yeah, my biggest problem about Newcastle is not having an identity. The only thing you can ascribe to them is when it gets dogged, they can fight physically, they are always there. But aside that, there's really nothing you can say this is what they are trying to do. They just go out there and fight for results and get them. Of course, with the form of Isaac in front, technically gifted, he can take his chances when they come his way. He bails them out. Players like Wilson in and out of the injury room, they are not steady, they are not consistent. Even when they are fit, they already score goals. So I don't know, like you said, Eddie Howe seems to have hit his ceiling. I don't think Newcastle will do any better with Eddie Howe. Even if they buy the whole world as players and put there, it looks like some coaches can't just coach big teams. It's not just in them to to do things when it gets big. So it looks like Newcastle probably might have to look elsewhere. And talking about spending money, with FFP, it's not about having the money. You may have money, but you can't spend. If you don't earn it, if you don't make money, you can't spend. So you can only spend based on the income that you earn. They didn't make Champions League this season, so they didn't make it like that. They've not really been making money. I don't know how good they're doing with their numbers. So maybe that's why they are not able to sign players. I heard in the summer, they needed to sell players to be able to buy. And the last set they had was Isaac, and there's no way they're going to let him go. So let's see how it's going to be interesting this January what they do with injection, or probably they might have to look elsewhere to get a different coach and move on with. Then we had another very big result of the weekend. Crystal Palace holding City to a 2-2 draw at home. City have now just won in the league in 5. 9 games, they've won 1, lost 6, and drawn 2 in all competition. Crystal Palace themselves have just won 1 in 5. I don't know, in the past, when coaches or teams dominate the EPL, the maximum they go is 2 games losing streak. By the 3rd one, they have to recover. I remember Alex Ferguson, even Mourinho. I can't remember any team or any coach that dominated this league. They have lost like 4 or 5 games in a row. I don't know, do you think there's a way out of this one for Pep and the City?
Man, I'm stunned. I never for once imagined that City would be in this situation. It's unbelievable. I watched that game against Crystal Palace. Excuse me. So how the game was developing, man. Wow.
Crystal Palace opened City up like they are playing against Houston Guineas so many times. If your break here, it was just professional. Just like what happened between them and Fulham that Thomas Traore refused to end his play that week. The same thing. Crystal Palace first half of the game, they're just walking through that City midfield and defense like there was nobody there.
It's unbelievable. If like you said in one of your videos, if Eberechi was a more serious player, more efficient player, they should have beaten City in that game.
I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. But what's the way? It started from Rodri, KDB. It looks like there is more to it now. It's no longer about these players.
Yes.
For me personally, I've said it so many times. I just believe that Pep doesn't have the quality. Because Pep works with the best. I don't think the players that he has in that squad now are up to the level of the players that he works with.
Yes, I see this newness. This newness from Portugal.
No, Doku, Sevinho, And then in the midfield, players like Bernardo Silva looks like they have checked out physically. Gundogan looks like he can't make it. KDB, the same. So and normally when things like this happen, Pep looks to these players I just mentioned now to galvanize the team.
Right.
So now those guys look like they have checked out. So these other guys that are calling their name, like people like Doku and Sevinho, they don't have anybody to look up to. You can see Haaland's body language. It looks like he knows that, man, this thing is not working.
Yeah.
And this is this is unprecedented. Nobody ever thought about this. And Pep just signed 2 years contract. I don't know if FFP, they have allowance to sign players this January or even in the summer. And if that's the case, if they cannot sign based on financial fair play, then City and City fans are in for a long ride. And with Pep, like I said earlier on, Wenger, Ferguson, Mourinho, coaches have dominated this league. We never saw them fight with fans. Pep now, about 2 or 3 occasions in 2 weeks, he's been saying, picture of.
He's really rattled.
Losing it, exactly. So,
yes.
I don't know. Like I said, in one of the videos I did as well, we have seen Pep do phenomenal things, break all records. We have not seen him in this situation before, all his career.
Yeah.
So it is a new terrain for him. You to talk about experience. He doesn't have experience in this area. So I don't know if he has what it takes to dig himself out of this one. But we'll just leave and watch and see how this one happens. And the last game for Saturday was United at home to Nottingham Forest, losing 3-2. Yeah, I wanted us to make our time and talk about United and Amorim, maybe during the week or sometime next week. You can see the difference between him and Erik ten Hag. You can see what he's trying to do. But I also feel that he's been a little bit arrogant, because EPL is not a place you come and say, this is how I want to play. You have to adapt your philosophy until you get the right tools and understanding of the league. But it looks like he wants to play how he wants to play. And it doesn't look like United will have the right players to do that. If he continues this way, do you think United can sustain this run? I know they are saying they need time, but if you lose 5 games, nobody's going to allow you to lose 10 games and say, I don't know what you think.
It's a slippery slope. You see, if you want to make a change in a monumental, huge club like United, you've got to do things differently, right? I support what he's doing. I think he's setting himself up for a clear movement from where things have been, right? So if you want to do that, if you try to adapt, right, the people at the top are not ready to really do what they're supposed to do to help you win. Yeah, they are just there. They just, let's just manage it with finances in view and all that. But if you say, this is what I want to do, you lose 1 game, lose 2 games, lose 3 games. Now the fans are out. Now their fans are no longer. The fans love Amorim. He knows he has the fans on his side, and he knows that the fans are seeing that the recurring problem in that club has been players not fighting for the jersey. Right. So the best way he can do it is to get rid of those players by playing the way he wants to play. And for everyone to see that these players are not adaptable to what he wants to do, the club will be forced to back him properly in the market. Right. I think. But
the problem is, backing him is as much as FFP allows you. But what I mean by adapting, I'm not saying walk away from your philosophy. I'm saying do something that at least can help your team be competitive, win some, lose some, draw some, and little by little, because if they're going to do this in one transfer window, they're going to take like 2-3 transfer windows, because players need to go, players need to come in. So, and if out of 15 players that you have on the squad that you can use, only 5 fit what you're doing, and you insist on doing what you want to do with the 15 players, you send yourself off for pain. So what I mean by adaptation is, kind of let the players know where you're going. But in the meantime, we're going to walk this way until we get there. Because, like you said, these players don't look at first of all, they don't look like they mentally they are ready for it. They don't look like they are physically ready for it. And they don't look like they are even emotionally involved in the club. Look at someone like Anthony. It doesn't look like he wants to improve himself. He just there earning his salary. So if you say, okay, this is what I want, and you're still stuck with this, mostly this player for the next, say, 10 months, then you're going to get results like this. You come 10 minutes, 30 minutes, they'll give you something and they just fade out.
So now your point is clear. Your point is clear and is valid. Now you ask whether the coach is adaptable in that sense, right?
Mhm.
Does he know how to play other ways? Does he believe in playing other ways? And so that's that's the thing. You've seen a young man that is, I think he's in his 30s,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah, he knows how to play one way. That's what's worked for him. You knew before hiring him that this is the way he plays, right? He works on it until it becomes almost perfection for him. So he's not going to, start playing 4-4-3-3 or 5-4-2 or whatever just to win games. He's going to try to ingrain his culture, his philosophy into the players. And if you're not adaptable, they get rid of you and move forward. For me, I think that's what works. He's not an Arteta, so to speak. I'm not trying to say Arteta is all that, but I'm saying that adapting. Arteta had to start with defense first and all that. And
Yeah.
all that. Yeah. You remember, circumstances were different. He wasn't hired as a superstar coach that Amorim currently is, highly sought after, right? So he didn't have the leverage to start imposing his own philosophy. It was his first job again.
But when Arteta came, the players were saying that his messages were clear. There was clarity in what he wanted to do. But he told them what he wanted to do and where they were going. It was very clear. Like Amorim too has been a very good communicator. I like listening to his press conference. He's been honest. He's been firm. There's no games around when he speaks. I like that. I enjoy listening to him. He reminds me of that I came to Arsenal as well. He's very clear. The things that he sees, he says them. And he takes responsibility when it doesn't go well. But I'm just saying that these fans, you know how these fans are, they are very feeble. No matter how they back you, you can't go 7 games you don't win and they say, you said they should start blaming. They'll start looking at you too, that this could serve. So, you need to do something about this. Before you know it, they turn on you and it becomes a problem. And that's what these players do all the time. They find a way to make it a coach player management problem. And this is what we have seen in United for so many years now, a few years now. But let's see how that pans out. Like
it will be interesting to watch. Let's see. Yeah. I think that player power will stop with Amorim.
And with this thing that's happening up there now, they went and got Dan Ashworth, who is highly sought out after 5 months into his reign. They let him go. I'm hearing that he wasn't even involved in hiring of Amorim as a board director, which is a very, very big dent on his own side. So let's see what happens. It looks like there is issue. Yes, for you to get United back to where they need to be, you need to tear it all down. But are they doing it the right way? We'll find out very soon. Then on Sunday, Fulham held Arsenal to a 1-1 draw at home. Arsenal, I think they had themselves to blame on this one. I think that has to, sometimes Arsenal play like they don't know how to score goals. I was watching the Brentford Newcastle game. The 2 goals that Wissa and Bemo scored were all taken by the edge of the box. They ran on the defenders and picked their spot and scored the goals. Arsenal, on the other hand, looks like sometimes they forget that you can score goals. The only player in Arsenal that's scoring those goals currently is Ethan Nwaneri, and he doesn't really have a lot of minutes. Saka, Odegaard, what's his name? Trossard. They hardly shoot from the edge of the box. I don't know what's going on. So how does Arsenal come back? And everything about Arsenal is magnified. Looking at it, the last 4 Premier League games, they won. So all of a sudden, they just draw one game. Heaven is letting you. I don't know.
It is. It is what it is. It's, people have, it's become so bad, especially with Arsenal. It's become so bad that I don't bother. It's so toxic, terribly, irritating when a team is not allowed to draw or lose a game, and yet you're in a team sport. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
If you don't know, you think Arsenal lost.
Yeah. They'll start cursing and saying all kinds of stuff online. And I was thinking over the weekend, like, okay, these people that do these things on YouTube and everywhere are just people like you and I, have their personal opinions. Only difference is that they're able to buy camera and buy microphone, and they start
and they
talking
have
and people
crowd
start
because a
listening
lot of
to
people
them.
don't even
Yeah,
understand how this game is. So they
right.
just jump on the
So
bandwagon. You see memes
yeah,
flying all over the place in the social media.
yeah.
It becomes
So they kind of become authorities, you know, without when they have their own personal biases and all that. So you know, I try to process what I hear and what I listen to, and what I assimilate. Now, talking about Arsenal, there's something that worries me a little bit with our team, with Arsenal under Arteta, is that there are certain cycles that happen. I'm seeing this for the third time every season. There's a time that Arsenal just looks like they are totally bereft of ideas up front, right? You see that those passes, channel passes that open up defenses no longer flow. Just something happens that for a block of games, you say 1 to 5 games or so, they really struggle to create chances to score. Right? It's happening again now. But what I also know is that, like a switch, it happens like a switch, and it becomes 4 or 5 goals every game. 3 games, 3 goals, 4 goals, 5 goals. The goals will start to flow again with the same players, right? So I think I needs to look into that. Yes, just something.
yeah. What I found out is this team likes to score their goals early. Once they don't score their goals in the first half, they find it difficult. Because the way Arsenal plays a systematic football. They play in regiments. So that flow, because it's repetitive. You know, you just talk about it and say it. I watched some other teams like Liverpool, a team like Liverpool, Diaz or Salah can only play and manufacture a goal. But Arsenal has a way they play for their goals. So if they do it 30 minutes, nothing happens. It becomes a problem for them. It gets saved in the head of the play. That is what I have found out. We don't really have the only player we have in Arsenal today that can run on players and manufacture goals is Itawane. And so far, he's not been getting a chunk of playing time. Other guy does those, but he doesn't take the chance. He tries to pass. Saka was doing it before. All of a sudden, he had just turned to an assist king. He doesn't want to take the chances anymore. Trossard had lost his scoring boot. Martinelli is stunted. The Havertz as well is maybe physically he needs some rest. And this is where getting some players comes in. The last video I did, I said, where are the options? Jesus, Raheem Sterling, these people are not options. And like you mentioned when we were talking the other day, if you also look at it, Arsenal has that 6 defenders injured at the moment. And nobody's talking about it. So it's a big problem as well. You know. So yeah, I think they need to work on taking their chances from outside the box, because against Fulham, Arsenal created chances, even with their low block, created chances, but they just didn't have the confidence to take it, and that's what happened. So they have to blame themselves on this one. Unfortunately, the margins for error now are very, very slim. They just have to go on a run. But if you look at it, 5 games, draw 1, win 4. I don't think it's bad. It's just that because of where Liverpool is, it makes it look as if it's a bad situation. Then Leicester, I always say coaching matters. I don't know if you remember, we're talking about it 2 or 3 weeks ago. I don't know who told Cooper to be playing it as a right.
Please, just before you go to Leicester, I just want honorable mention to my boy Alex Iwobi. Iwobi. Arsenal could do with such a player right now. The young man is all over the place, making opportunities, moving, pass and move. He opens the opponent up, which is one of the things we lack right now.
Shout out to my mom. My mom is an ardent Arsenal fan. She watches all EPL games. So she likes Iwobi. So before the game, I said, Mommy, I hope you know they don't want Fulham to win because of Iwobi. She said no, but that she can tell me the truth that she wants Iwobi to score, but Arsenal to win. So after the game, I asked her, Mommy, are you happy now? If Fulham see Iwobi has made Arsenal not win this game. He said no, that she wanted Iwobi to score, but they Arsenal really 2-1. So Leicester, at home to Brighton. Brighton almost watched Leicester in the first half. Van Nistelrooy has gone over there and made Leicester. This is what I always say. If you go into a team that is struggling, I think the first thing a coach should do is to make that team difficult to beat first.
Yeah.
Then you can start to do other things. But when you go to your already weak team and want to be expansive, and Lopetegui is talking in West Ham, very soon they will fire him. You know, but this one has gone to Leicester, tried to make them compact. He won a few games and drew yesterday. They were already out of the game, two goals down. Brighton were flying from nowhere. Leicester came back. Like I said, one thing I picked up from it in the last 2 games they have played under Newcastle, 3 games, is he has returned into the DM position. He plays block of two DMs. The other black guy, I can't remember that guy's name now, to give them a base to flourish. And they won their first game 3-0. Yesterday they drew 2-2, coming back from 2-0 down. I don't know what you have made about this run in Leicester so far.
Very impressive. I read Van Nistelrooy. What he did
at United
and PSV. And even PSV, when they played against Arsenal, showed me that he's a good coach. And the way he rallied United and got them to start performing before Amorim came also showed he's a good coach. And seems
very level-headed as well.
Yes. And having the guts and courage to come to Leicester this time, having just left United, also shows me that he knows what he makes some decisions that a man will make, and you will realize, okay, this dude knows what he's doing, and he has the heart for it. So I think he's going to revive Leicester City.
I was saying Leicester should go back to Championship, but from what I've seen them do under Van Nistelrooy, if they get him 1 or 2 players in January, that team will start flying again.
Yeah.
Then the last game of the weekend, we talked about West Ham already. Tottenham, losing at home to Chelsea after going 2 goals up. I've said this. I don't want to talk about Tottenham players, and Postecoglou needs to make up his mind what he wants to do. If this is how he thinks he's going to coach a team, he should go back to Scottish League. This is not going to work in APL.
Man, I don't know what to tell that man. He's just his insistence, stubborn insistence on doing what's not working is unfortunate. I think he needs to manage both the press and the fans and his team better, right? He's not doing things right at all. And then he's caught Tottenham crossed for you. I mean, I've never seen this kind of thing in my life. Yeah. How did they go from 2-0 to 4-2? Just like
40. That. Yeah, 40. They got 1 goal.
And it keeps happening over and over and over. Man, their rivals. I'm happy they lost, but man, I cannot imagine how their fans will feel.
This one, I'm not going to blame the players on this one, because you're playing against Chelsea, a team in form, second on the table. Yeah. They come to town somehow. Kukurela forgot that maybe wore his tennis shoes into the pitch and gave you 2 goals. And you continue to play high line, you continue to attack, continue to open your doors and say, hey, come in. How did you expect that Chelsea was going to play Chelsea this way? I mean, continue to score, but Chelsea will not score. A normal thinking coach, regardless of what your philosophy is, at that point, will just find a way to close shop. What did he do? He's continued doing exactly the same thing. Then when Chelsea equalized, I saw him on the bench shaking his head. Over what? So because Chelsea is playing Tottenham, the quality of Palmer, Nkunku, Neto, Jackson, all these their qualities will just go into their pocket because they're playing against Tottenham. Oh, it's going to come to pay. And you can't put these players, the quality they have, one-on-one with anybody. They will beat the person. Then when you now have 4 against 2, 4 against 3, the name of this is how I play. No, come on now. This is criminal, and I don't know. I know I have issues with the owner of the club. The league doesn't invest in the sport. We have issues with the players, but at the end of the day, the manager had to take this one. I'm not going to blame the players, because if he had told them to stay compact and they still concede goal, they can blame the players. You can't open your door and say people should come in, and then you blame people that the person to open the door. It doesn't look professional anymore. I don't care what he's trying to say. I'm not listening to him anymore, because it doesn't make sense. It's very simple. Even City, when they are at their peak, can't play like that if they go 2-0 against Chelsea.
Yeah.
Nobody does that. You know, so yeah, the Tottenham need to make a decision what they want to do. And he keeps saying, like you said, he needs to manage the press. In the press, he's so arrogant. He says, "I am not going to cheat."
I don't think he's. I don't call it arrogance. It's just himself, but he appears arrogant. I agree. He comes across as arrogant, but you know, it's just his nature, just how he.
Like you said, maybe that's what Tottenham is made for. We will see. So viewers here, we've dissected some of these games for the weekend. Run out the result. The table is out there. Liverpool is still on top. Chelsea, Arsenal, then Manchester City. Nottingham Forest is, I think, they are fifth on the table now, and they've maintained their form. Brentford is ninth on the table. Newcastle 12. I mean, sorry. The Nottingham Forest is fifth. So it's really looking interesting on top of the after 15 games. Let us know what you think about these games. Do you have any opinion on some of these matches that were played over the weekend and your clubs? Get busy in the comment section and let us know what you think. And we'll see you guys next time. Ciao. Thanks, my brother. I'll see you tomorrow and Wednesday. Champions League is on. There's some interesting games. We will come back and dissect those ones as well. Bye.
Yes, bro.